Hello, welcome to Stick Shift Studios. Today we'll be going over my lot of Hot Wheels blue cards from 1978 through 1994. And there's also some 1995s as well. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Right now we have the Vector on the turntable in this awesome metallic purple color. Looks amazing. First up we have from 1978 the Fire Eater, and this one features insignia and 51 on the sides. It is painted red and has blue plastic on the light bar and details in the back, and has some nice black and yellow tampos. Looks very, very nice. And it's in excellent condition for 1978. I mean, it is absolutely pristine, which is very awesome. This is from 1985, and it is the Peterbilt cement truck. It's painted red. It's in good condition. There's a couple of chips on it, but overall it's in really good condition for 1985. Looks very cool. Has a spinning limit mixer on the top. So very nice. Next, from 1987, we have the Ferrari Testarossa. And this one is painted red. And this one came out from the Turbo Tracks Turbo Glow set, and it features white glow-in-the-dark arrow on the top. And again, this one's from 1987, and it has a few chips on the front nose and on the rear deck lid as well. So it has definitely been, I definitely used it well, and I say it's a Ferrari Testarossa in red, so it's pretty sweet. I had no idea it was from an actual set though. That's kind of cool. Next up, from 1988, we have the red Rescue Ranger. And I would say this is in extremely good condition. There's no chips on it whatsoever. All the tampos are still showing there very, very nicely. It says Rescue Unit Hot Wheels on the side. It says emergency, oxygen, first aid, and little cubbies. Very cool in dazzling bright red. A fair amount of them from 1989, so I'll go straight through them. So this is Solaire, and it is black and features tampos on the sides that are orange and yellow with blue accents, and says number 33. And the cool thing about this car is it opens, so you can see the engine. And there's the engine back in there, so that's cool. We have wheel loader. It is number 3. that's very cool. Next up, we have one of the big heavyweights. This was always kind of a favorite, weird kind of favorite of mine. It's pretty cool. And this is the Cat dump truck in, obviously, bright yellow. And it features a metal bed for the dump truck. Later versions had it in plastic, and I have to say having the metal bed really gives it that heft. I mean, the size and scale of these trucks in real life, they're so ginormous that it doesn't do it justice for the size that this has been portrayed at, but still, very, very cool. The Cat Road Roller, so earth mover, and this was a licensed Hot Wheels model that is based on the Caterpillar CB24B XT compactor, which is very cool. 32, and this was a licensed Hot Rod model designed by Larry Wood. The car is modeled after a 1934 three-window Ford Coupe. Ford produced 3 cars between 32 and 34. Interesting. So it's very cool. It's nice to see the engine popping out. This is kind of an interesting Hot Wheels because it's molded completely in plastic, and it should be molded in metal, I would assume, but it's in plastic. And I guess over the years, the 2 different kinds of plastics for the fenders and the body discolored, unless they were supposed to be discolored originally, but they're definitely not the same color. Maybe they were supposed to be slightly different looking at another photo, but that's very cool. Next we have a somewhat famous vehicle, the Ford Bronco, and guess what, folks? It's in white, and what do I think of when I think of a white Bronco? OJ. So there you go. So this is very kind of a cool Hot Wheels. Has flames on the top, and on the sides for the tampo it has the Ford logo, and it says Built Ford Tough. Which is cool. Speaking of OJ, here's a very classic police car from 1989, and this is the Highway Cruiser. No, excuse me. This is the Sheriff Patrol. So my tampo is getting a little worn on the edges, and there's some scuffs on it, but overall it looks pretty good, and looks good in blue, and for some reason these Sheriff Patrol cars are becoming valuable, so that's cool. Looks like part of my bumper is broken off, so that's an interesting tidbit. I mean, the whole metal is just chunked off. The Legend, the Ferrari F40, which is amazing. I loved this car when it was new. Still do. It's one of my favorite cars. I think it's the best 80s supercar of all time. And it's very cool. There's a Hot Wheels version of it. Mine had this weird chip in the front bumper since it was new. Casting error, I suppose. But it looks very good in red. Of an opening hood, or opening engine bay. And apparently I can't get this to stay up, but it does open, so that's cool. That is the yellow Peterbilt tanker truck, and this says the tampon on the side is Shell gasoline, which is very cool, and the tanker itself is silver, so that's cool. Looks good. It's pretty good shape for 1989, if I do say so. So it's very nice, looks good. It does feature gas lines come out and they retract back in. That's kind of cool. Last from 1989 is the T-Bucket. Looks very classic with the yellow paintwork and awesome red flames on the side, and it has a gold radiator and chrome engine cover. Mine has been well weathered, and the exhaust pipes used to be more shiny when they were new. Mine are definitely weathered, but very cool. Looks nice, and it's always interesting. It's a different car, and it definitely is period correct. I mean, you do go to hot rod shows and see T-Buckets like this, so that's very cool. Last but not least, from 1992, is the VW Bug. And this is not the first casting of this model, but this one features dazzling metallic purple paint, a red interior, and a cool 90s splatter paint design that features green, orange, and yellow splatters. Very cool. Looks great. Always cool casting. GoPro, stop recording. Next up is the blue card from 1990, and here we have another variation of the police cruiser. This one's black and says police on the side, and says to protect and serve, radar equipped, and it's vehicle 123. And this one's in incredibly good condition. All the tampos look excellent, and for 1990 it looks great. It's a great piece. Purple Passion. It's very cool. It's based off of a custom 49 Mercury and was created by Hot Wheels designer Larry Wood. It features Hot Wheels white wall tires, and it is metallic purple. This one has a tan interior, but apparently it also came with a red interior later on. It's a different version. This one features yellow flames with blue pinstriping. Looks very, very good. It's just a great looking car. Nice stance. Looks good. Next up is the blue cards for 1991, and Contra Number 154 is the 59 Caddy, and it features a pearl white paint job with no tampo and chrome plastic for the base and the bumpers, and it is very, very nice, super elegant, just stunning with the white walls, and the pearl white paint is just gorgeous. It looks awesome. It's a great car. And I mean, just look at those fins. They're huge, huge fins. Awesome. 1965 Ford Mustang Convertible. Very, very classic model. Looks great with the white walls. And the red paint is, you know, on a red Mustang, you can't go wrong with that. So it looks very cool. I'm very surprised that they decided to make it a convertible and not a fastback, but it looks cool. And this car also features an opening hood as a bonus, which is very cool. There's not very many Hot Wheels that have opening doors, opening hoods, so it's always fun when there's one that has opening hood. very cool. Features white paint with a teal plastic interior, and also the plastic that's on the sides of the body is actually part of the interior, but it gives it a very cool two-toned effect without having to use tampos. So that's very cool. And then it has a tampo on the top of the hood with a fake spare tire in the rear. It's very, very cool. Looks like a classic car for sure. Nice. Hello, this is the 1992 Blue Cards, and this is the 1956 Flash Cider. It is based off a custom 1956 Chevrolet Task Force pickup truck. This casting is still in production today. In 1997, a new version of the casting came with an opening hood. It was created for the Ultra Hots line. In 2010, a new chassis was created which gave the truck a lifted wheelbase. This car is teal in color and has a blue, yellow, and pink scallops as the tampo. And to note, it has a matching painted bed cover, tonneau cover, which looks very nice. Just a great looking truck. Very, very classic. Looks good. It is black in color and features a green, pink, and yellow tampo that says turbo on the side. It's a very interesting car.
It's 6 o'clock.
First came out in '91, so this one I'm showing you here is not actually the very first version. But nonetheless, it's still a blue card. Looks very cool. And it is yellow and features a white plastic loading ramp and says 24-hour towing, Hot Wheels emergency on the side, and also features a liftable base to help load and unload vehicles. And as a special treat, I happen to actually have two of these ramp trucks, and I will now demonstrate how to use it. I'm sure this looks familiar. It's very cool, works pretty well, and you can still drive them around, you know, with a car on the back, which is very nice. Pretty ingenious. I was happy as a kid to have two of these. It made playing with Hot Wheels very cool because you could tow two cars around. I don't have very many duplicates of very many vehicles, so having two of those as a kid was very handy. It's very cool. Very neat. And this casting has been identified as being loosely based on Aston Martin and Nimrod's NRAC2 Group C GT Racer, which was introduced in 1982 and had a regional, if patchy, career in both the USA and Europe. That's a cool race car. And this version for 1992 is painted light blue, and the tampo features orange, magenta, and the number 2 is pink. And it features the ultra hot wheels. And what's pretty cool about this car was another one that opened to reveal the engine, so that's always fun. And this car is in really, really good condition. There's only one small chip on the front fender, and other than that, it is in great condition, great shape. Looks good. Very cool car. This is Ford Aerostar, and this is the pizza delivery van. It says Speedy Pizza Delivery on the side. And it also says pepperoni, sausage, cheese, and anchovies. It's very cool. It's always good to have a little bit of realism in your Hot Wheels playset collection. Next up, we have the 1993 Hot Wheels Blue Cards, and this is the 93 Camaro. Very classic, very, very 90s shade of purple. Very cool. Looks great. It says Camaro with some kind of fancy yellow script on the side, and this is supposed to be a race car, I suppose, because it has a crazy air dam and kind of an elongated spoiler, and it has netting on the interior. And this was collector number 202. Next up, we have the Dodge Viper RT10. This was one of my all-time favorite cars as a kid. I mean, it just looks so freaking awesome. And this is red and features no tampos, just black headlights. That's it. This is collector number 210. And they're still producing this casting to this day. I have collector number 203, the Jaguar XJ220 in metallic silver and features no tampos. This car is a little bit weathered, but it's very cool. I think I still like the way the Viper Hot Wheels looks better than this car. This car looks a little bland. Could be the wheels aren't helping it too much, but still, very cool. Next up, we have a crazy one. This is collector number 204, and this is none other than the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. And this features red, yellow, and tan/brown as the colors. And I mean, they got this thing spot on. Has the Oscar Mayer logo in white and red in the middle, the yellow part. And normally this vehicle is based off of motorhomes. I mean, the scale of this is a little off compared to another vehicle, but I mean, it's just freaking cool. I mean, I hate hot dogs. I dislike hot dogs. Like, they're not my favorite. But this is a cool car. I mean, just for portions of it, it looks cool. And it's just cool that they did it, especially back in '93. It's very cool. Next up is one of my all-time favorite real vehicles in real life. That is the 1963 Corvette split window coupe. It's just such an iconic shape. It looks amazing. This car is painted blue and features a yellow, red, and purple graphic for the tampo. I mean, it's highly... this car doesn't need a tampo. I mean, it looks amazing out of the box right as it is. And this has a red interior, which is very weird with the blue. It's very strange. And this features a silver base for the bumpers. I mean, it really should have been chrome plastic so it looked more realistic, but still, very awesome. Very cool car. Just stunning. And, you know, as obviously, I'm sure most of you know, I'm a big Corvette fan, seeing as I am a Corvette owner myself. So it's very cool. Awesome car. Next up, we have the Mercedes Manag. It's very cool. And this is all decked out in Army military get out with the Desert Storm camo, which is very cool. And this truck features a removable canopy, which is nice. As a kid, I always loved these cars. This one included off-road vehicles. I used to play with them in the sand at the beach and create sandcastles with them. So this one actually has some dirt still in the tires. So it features a removable canopy roof, which is very cool. And it just goes right back on like that. It's a very cool truck. Looks great. And this truck came out in the mid-'80s, so it had been out for quite some time. This was just another variation, and it is painted pearl white and has a very 90s splatter design tampo on the sides and hood that is hot pink and neon orange, which is very cool. It's a cool truck. I'm not too partial to this version of the Chevy truck because it's from the 80s, but it looks very nice. Next up, this is a very unusual car. This is called Zombot. And it looks like a zombie robot laying down with wheels. Kind of reminds me of like a transformer in a way, which is kind of cool. So it's different. And being from 1993, this was in the Speed Demons series. This car originally came out in 1987, but in this color configuration it was only available in 93, and does have another interesting feature where you can stand it up on end, which is pretty freaking cool. I mean, how many Hot Wheels cars can you stand up? That's cool. Next up, we have a version of GT Racer, and this is painted black with a silver windshield and has a tampo on the hood and roof that features the number 5 in red with yellow and pink as the secondary colors, and it says number 5 on the sides as well as the Bell Helmet Company logo in pink, which is very interesting. So it looks very similar to a couple of the other race cars that we had just seen. It looks nice, and this one's in great condition. The tampo is in pretty good shape. Next up, we have a version of the Zender Fact 4, and this is in metallic blue with smoked windscreen and greenhouse. And it features the Zender logo tampo in white on the nose, and it says Fact 4 in yellow above the driver's side headlight. It's very cool. Looks great. We have the Toyota MR2, and this is white and with a red interior, and it features tampos on the sides and on the hood and roof that are red that say number 34. It also has a pink and purple stripe as well, and this tampo on the side goes from the door all the way and wraps around almost to the back of the bumper. Tampo's in okay shape. It's starting to wear off, but you know, when there's a tampo on the side, it's where you're going to put your hands to move the car around. So if you play with it, it's gonna rub off eventually. So this one's in pretty good shape, considering I got good use out of it. Pretty cool car. I don't understand why the Toyota MR2 they decided to make it a rally car, but okay. I mean, that's Hot Wheels for you. But look, silver and black little hash marks, and it features a convertible for a truck, and the bed is completely taken up by 5 subwoofers and 2 amplifiers and a blue interior. It is wild, it's out of this world, and it also features a orange plastic base, which is cool to match the paint. It's very neat. It looks awesome. I mean, I think it's based off of, like, I don't know, you know, a 90s Toyota Tacoma or something. That's very cool. It definitely screams California, that's for sure. That's what I get from it. Next, we have the 1994 Hot Wheels Blue Cards, and this is the legendary Lamborghini Diablo. This was one of my favorite Hot Wheels cars as a kid. I mean, I was obsessed with fast cars and sports cars as a kid, and still am. So naturally, this was one of my favorite cars. And this one is yellow and features Diablo on the side, and it features a chrome interior with a clear red glass greenhouse with a metal base. It's very cool. And it features a wing on the back that is plastic, but thankfully it blends in well enough with the paint that you hardly don't even notice. Very cool. One of my favorite cars. Very nice. For 1994 is collector number 207. And this is the Vector Avitek WX3. I always loved this Vector. It's a very awesome car. This one is metal flake lavender and features a black tampo on the side, which is actually supposed to mimic a window in the original car, and it has a small on the rear wing, small V for Vector, and it's red. You can barely see it. I mean, it's just barely there. And this is a very interesting car. I don't think many people actually know very much about the WX3, but it was a prototype supercar engineered, created, and constructed by Vector Motors of Wellington, California in 1992, conceived by Vector Motors founder and chief engineer designer Gerard Wilgard. Was a successor, featured a V8 engine with 700 to 1200 horsepower, twin turbocharged. Car was featured in the 93 Geneva Motor Show. There was a takeover from the company to Megatech, and he was fired from his own company. And there's some copyright issues, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, what I wanted to say was this. I went to Irvine Cars and Coffee probably, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago, and they had two Vectors there, one coupe and one stunning open-top Roadster. One was purple, one was teal. In person, these cars are out of this world. They're drop-dead gorgeous. It was amazing to hear and see them, because I've only seen them that one time. And I mean, I think there's only 2 cars actually of these. Maybe there's more, but they're incredibly rare, very cool. And what I'm trying to say is, it's very cool for Hot Wheels to make a car of this, so kids can learn about some of these rare cars that, you know, the public doesn't know about, but kids will know. It's very cool. Is the semi-truck, I forget the name of it off the top of my head, but it's the Dinty Moore version. Features a red cab and a blue hauling compartment, and it features 6 wheels. On the side it says Dinty Moore, and it has a soup can that says beef stew on the side of it. Very cool. Next up is this fluorescent yellow Indycar. It's very cool. Features the Hot Wheels logo on the sides and has a racer in the driver's seat and a chrome engine. Up for 1994 is Shadow Jet 2, and this car is completely chrome, which is very cool. It's collector number 246. It just has a very futuristic look to it. And I think chrome or some kind of wild treatment to the paint is kind of the only thing you should do with this car. So it's awesome in chrome. Very cool, very different, very unique. Next up, from 1994, we have Split an Image 2. I wasn't very big on some of these fantasy cars exactly growing up as a kid, but I always loved this one just because of the mirror image that it creates and the exhaust pipes coming straight out the back and the open headers on the side and the two dual double bubble canopies. These are Hot Wheels from 1995. They're not the first edition model series, they're just part of the cars. And this is the Blazer 4x4. It features kind of a glitter sparkle blue paint with fluorescent interior, fluorescent yellow interior I should say. Another great off-road vehicle, and this is another car that has parts of it that open. The doors open, which is very cool. I don't know why they chose this car to have the doors open. There you go. Next, we have the Olds 442, and this features yellow paintwork with a black tampo for the two hood scoops and a chrome base so that it allows for the chrome grille and chrome bumpers. It also has a Hot Wheels logo in red tampoed on the rear window, which is very kind of strange placement, but looks nice. Next, we have two first generation Dodge Viper Roadsters. They are both from 1995. The first one is yellow, and the second one is metallic green with gold wheels. Both look very cool. Like I said, this was one of my favorite cars as a kid, so having multiple Vipers, I mean, you really can never go wrong, and looks awesome in yellow, looks great in green, but the classic version is always going to be the red version. But both these cars look very nice, very stunning. Metallic paint on the green is very cool, and it's very, very similar metallic green to the 1995 Dodge Ram. So they kind of go together. This is a little bit darker than the Dodge Ram, but very cool for the first generation Dodge Viper Roadster. Mercedes 540K. This originally came out in 1982, and this version that came out in 95, obviously, I'm going over 95s, and it features blue with red glitter paintwork, which is simply stunning, and it also features a blue removable plastic top, which I believe is in one of my other crates at the moment, so I'll have to find that at some point, but very cool car, looks great. Next up is the very, very classic Talbot Lago, and this is in metallic black with white wall tires, very classic, and this is one of my all-time favorite cars. It is simply gorgeous. If you ever get a chance to check out the Peterson Automotive Museum, you should go check out this car. They have one there, and it is stunning. The lines of this car are so timeless. It's great. It's a timeless car, great curves, and just so sweeping, stunning, it's a gorgeous car. One of the it was a very popular car in the 90s. So this is the 1992 Lexus SC400, and I believe this is only one of 2 different Lexus Hot Wheels cars that have ever been done. They've done, majority of Toyotas. So that's very cool. And this car for 1995 features metallic red or burgundy paintwork with a tan interior. Very nice, very classy. Always loved the lines on the SC300 and SC400. Just timeless, excellent, looks great. Great car. Next up, we have a version of the Zender Fact 4. This features metallic purple paintwork with a gold striped tampo and some splatter blue and pink tampo work on the hood and sides. Very cool car. Looks great. For 95 is the Pearl Driver series, and this is the VW Bug painted in pearl pink, and it's one of the most stunning paint jobs I've ever seen on Hot Wheels in recent memory. It looks fantastic. The pearl in it is awesome. This is collector number 293. And it features Hot Wheels logo in the license plate area with a white circle with red Hot Wheels logo. So the car looks great. Nice car. Last but not least, from 1995, from the Roaring Rods series, is the classic 427 Cobra. This features fluorescent yellow paintwork with a silver snake-like skin pattern. Honestly, I never knew it was supposed to be snake skin. It does not really look like snake skin at all. It just looks like hash marks, but that's okay. And the 427 Cobra was very cool because it also featured an opening hood, which is very nice. Very, very nice indeed. Through 1995. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed this trip down memory lane. Please like and subscribe to Stick Shift Studios for more Hot Wheels and Corvette and Z06 content. Hope you have a great day, and please watch more of my content. Thank you.